Hope everybody is having a safe and happy 4th of July today. I'm driving back to the job site. I drove home last night. I got a guy buying some trailers off of me, so I got home and made sure they were all cleaned off, got the chains and straps, things like that off of them, but driving back today. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a good 4th of July weekend and shooting lots of fireworks and cooking out and spending time with friends and things like that, celebrating our freedom. But just remember that freedom isn't free, and be sure to thank a veteran every time you get a chance, because they fought, and a lot of them have died to get us where we are today, so that we can pretty much do what we want to in this country. So I just kind of wanted to do a quick review of the year. I mean, it's from July of 2020 to basically now 2021. Lots happened. We've just been blessed to be busy with work. We had those 2 RV park projects, and right now we're working on a subdivision, and I've got a lot of other stuff coming up. Just got to get done with this subdivision. We had so much rain that we're finally getting rolling again good, but it rained Friday and Saturday on us, and pretty much flooded us out a little bit Saturday, so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow, I guess. But like I said, the purpose of this is just kind of do a quick review of where we were a year ago to where we are now. A year ago, I was still working for a company. I was running their construction projects program, and just due to management climate changes and things like that, we'll call it to be courteous, it was just time for me to go find something else to do. My goals didn't align with theirs for all points and purposes. What I wanted to see the company do versus what they wanted just didn't line up, and I just made the decision to go back to work for myself. I already had the LLC going. I had already been working on a website and things like that. There was a lot of moving pieces to the puzzle as last year went. It kind of started in March of last year, and I just kind of had to get the pieces out of the box and get them put together to finally make the move to leave. But like the old REO Speedwagon song, it's time for me to fly, and it was time. If you've ever been in that situation, you know what I'm talking about. Your voice doesn't matter anymore, and it's time to go. So here we are. But we started out pretty strong. We had a big clearing job in Lano, Texas, and you can see most of the footage, the edited footage anyways, on this channel. And we were just kind of getting going there. And then I had a few other small jobs after that, some creek cleanup, mowing some right-of-ways, putting some driveways together and things like that. And then we had already been in discussions with the company that wanted us to do the RV parks, and we got the bid, and we started on that in September. I think my last day with that company I was working for was right around the end of July, 1st of August, something like that. But I had some vacation time, and I took it. We went and worked in Lano, and they wanted me to come back, so that was when I made the decision to leave for good. And so we went and did that job, like I said, and then I had some other stuff in that vicinity pop up, and then we moved over here to north of Dallas, Texas, and started on these RV parks. And those were pretty neat to put together, to watch those progress, watch all the different pieces fall in. And we did the primary grading me back up. We did the clearing, which most of it was mowing, grubbing some trees, taking down some old buildings, things like that. We did that, and we pulled up the highway fences for them so they could put split rail in. We did the primary grading. We did all of the aggregate work, the compaction, the testing, things like that. We did the concrete work for the entrances. We did the 3,000 feet of 6-foot tall cedar privacy fence for each part. Got a good guy that's a welder. He built all the gates and got all those painted. And once it was all put together, and landscape guys come in and did their thing, and then we put a layer of decorative granite, utility granite, that's what they call it, 1-inch utility granite up top, no fines, it's clean, and spread that out to kind of dress the place up so you're not looking at that road base all the time. And it really came together really nice. I was really pleased with the final product, and the company that we're working for seemed to be pretty happy with it as well. Tomorrow I've got to go fix a couple of driveways in the first one we did due to just not some really good ditch line compaction on some of the primary electric that was put in. Just a quick hint on backfilling ditches: you can't dig a 4-foot deep hole, put pipe in it, and then shove 4 foot of dirt back off in it without packing somewhere in the middle. You can't do that, and kind of tried explaining that to them, but they don't work for me, so there you go. But just for reference, you can't do things that way. You put in some, you compact it with a packer or a rollout wheel on an excavator, or a plate compactor on an excavator, or one of those little jumping jack packers, little gas powered deal. But you gotta make an effort. But anyways, so we're gonna fix some driveways tomorrow that have got some bad ditch line failing, where it probably bridged, and with all the rain they've had and people driving in and out and things like that, they've got them running up pretty good. So we're gonna go fix that tomorrow. But all in all, they look great. We were really glad to do the work, and then we had one, and then we jumped right into the second one and finished it back in April, I guess. And then we started clearing on this big subdivision that we've been working on, and the rain has really been whipping us like a rented mule. You can account for 2 weeks rain over a 45 or 50, 60 day job, but over 4 months and 40 days of rain, you can't really plan for that. So we've got right at 2 weeks, I think, and we will be done. But just some of that, we cleared it, and we had to get a burn permit, and that took 4 days. It wasn't done ahead of time. Management changes, project lead changes, things like that on their side. That wasn't done, and then we wait on erosion control guys to get in and do their thing after we cleared it, so we could start cutting dirt. Had to wait a few days on that, and then the rain set in, and it just rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained and rained. Just I don't even know, 30 or 40 inches of rain over the course of 2 months, and it was a cut fill. So, and it had basically a live season creek running through it, so that every time it rained, it filled up all of the drainage upstream and would run for days, and then run deep and wide too. It was a pretty big cut in the ground. It was 6 or 8 foot deep in places. So we had that to contend with, and you can't compact mud. The whole place is basically an 8 foot cut with a 10 foot fill. So you can't compact mud. It won't pass testing, and then somewhere down the line, somebody's $1 million house slab's going to crack in half and fall off in a sinkhole or something like that, and then they'll be screaming at me, well, why didn't you do it right? So we just worked around the weather best we could. We've been working with the city on the density testing, things like that, to make sure everything's good before we, hit the next phase as we go. But like I said, just in review, we had a really good job there in Atlanta with some other stuff that's popped up. That particular landowner has invited us back again this year. I've got another landowner that they just bought 140 acres or so down there that they want a lot of work done, and they're on our list to get to them. And then there's been the possibility of another couple of phases being added onto these RV parks already. They're already full, so we've been in discussions about that already. And then I've still got some oil industry work that I've been kind of working on here and there as they get closer and closer to projecting a start date. We'll work on it a little more, just background things, supply chain issues, things like that, finding it for cheaper. Some of the stuff is specialty, so there's significant lead times on some of those things. And then the heavy hitter for the whole year has been basically it was social media, an influence from social media. And I'm the sole social media person, the sole accountant, the sole mechanic. A lot of things I've got feels like I've got 10 different hats and have to wear them all at the same time every day, basically. But we had, like I said, the social media deal. I try to post some cool pictures on Instagram. You need to follow us on Instagram if you don't already. Got this YouTube channel, which, hey, we got 62 subscribers as of today. So to be honest with you, I didn't think 62 people even cared what I thought on the face of this earth. But hey, I am super happy, and I thank each and every one of you that has clicked on the subscribe button. I know I'm ugly, but thank you for bearing with me in that aspect. I'm not photogenic for sure, but I try to keep everything real, and that's the best I can do. Everything you see is real. It's not staged. There is no production crew hiding in the background. This GoPro is stuck to the mount on the dash of my truck, and I'm driving down the highway talking to you right now. There is nobody else in this truck with me. So, for that aspect, and my sorry editing skills and my made-up music on GarageBand, like I said, I really want to thank the 62 subscribers that we have. I would really like to double that number to get a little more involved with what we're doing, and to get a few more people on board, get a few more comments, things like that. I would love to see that number double. I'd be happy with 100. That would be really cool. Get 100 subscribers. I'd be really happy with that. But anyway, it's enough about me whining. The heavy hitter was, we were approached by the I don't know what you call it, the film production side of Kubota Tractor Corporation, back at the very end of last year, first part of this year, December, January. And they expressed a significant interest in coming out, filming us, talking to us, bringing out a couple of engineers to talk to us, get some feedback on the equipment, things like that. And of course, things like that don't happen to me, so we were gung-ho. We were for sure interested in doing that. And things like that go back and forth, and do background checks to make sure I'm not Ted Bundy, things like that. But we got all that done, and I'm not Ted Bundy, so we're good. And they came out the first week of March, I guess, and spent 3 days with us. It was Thursday, Friday, and a couple of engineers came back on Saturday. We were on a different job that Saturday, and we were waiting on our burn permit. And they wanted to know about certain attachments, and why I have the attachments that I have, and how do I use them, and what do I like about the machines, what do I not like. And then they got a ton of really cool footage. But one thing about big heavy industry companies like that is the machine machines are intended to be used a certain way. So, I am professional level with machinery. I've got 15,000 hours in the skid steer, most likely, or more, and same thing for excavator and other things like that. So when I say professional level, I don't mean I run it on the weekends as a hobby type deal. No, I'm in it every day, putting 12, 13 hours on it every day, 6 to 7 days a week most of the time. So that's professional level. So what I do with a machine is most likely, well, it's not most likely, it is above and beyond what they can show you on TV, because there's a certain liability there. Well, I saw them root this gigantic tree out of the ground with a skid steer. Well, that's right. We do that kind of stuff. But there again, we do this every day. I know what the machine will do. I know its limitations. I know what I can get out of it, what I can't get out of it, and where I can get it. And what we do would be considered advanced above what a lot of your average guys do, your weekend warriors, or your guys that go and rent stuff to work on their own property. Rental Randy is what we call it. Rental Randy wants to go mow his property with a skid steer. Well, that's fine, but if Rental Randy sees us in a Kubota commercial doing things with a piece of equipment that is limited to like advanced professional use, and he ends up, sticking a tree through his gullet, well, that becomes a liability problem. So a lot of the really cool stuff that we were doing, clearing this place, while I was waiting on the big equipment to show up, they can't show you. So it's fine. It gave them a lot of good footage for their own personal use to hand to their machine designers, and they were absolutely pleased with that. So that being said, I've been working on getting the final draft of the video that they got created with us in it, and I got version 3 a few weeks ago, and I got version 4 this past Thursday, and I'm really excited with how well it turned out. And it's supposed to be hitting their website, I think she said this week, the lady that I've been going back and forth with. I think it's supposed to come out this week on the website. So they're supposed to send me a link where I can share it on my webpage, my website, and of course we'll share it here. I'll share it on Facebook. We'll get it. We're gonna blow our own horn on that one and get it out to everybody that we can, so we get a few more likes, follows, and subscribes and things like that, which I'll be really happy with. But like I said, that was just the really heavy hitter for this past year, and they're supposed to be bringing a machine out to me this coming Friday, actually, to check out some new features on ahead of time to get my input on, which was just cool. Somebody actually cares about what I think, because I'm used to nobody caring what I think. So they called me and wanted to know if they could bring one out, and I was told to run it for all that it was worth, and that's what we do. I get maximum dollar value out of these machines. So we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to put it through its paces Friday and see what new features it is that they want me to give them a review on, and we'll go from there. So I'm really excited about that. Somebody let me play with a new toy. And I'm sure they won't let me film any of it because it's probably proprietary type stuff, and that's cool. I'm cool. But I'll see if I can get any kind of, like just out of the machine type shot or something, and maybe give a quick demo or something if they'll let me. Who knows? I'll find out. But I'm really excited about the relationship we've got with them. they're based in Grapevine, Texas. We're working not too far from there. I'm based in Texas, and we have 4 Kubota machines right now, and I'm kind of mulling over trying to get a bigger excavator, because we could sure use one, especially if some of these other things that I've been working on happen. So it's kind of one of those things that's on the back burner all the time, but I'd sure like to get a bigger excavator. The KX080 is the one I really want to get, and we'll see if something can happen and get one. I keep telling them that they can bring me one out anytime they want to, and they just haven't. You know, it's kind of a, oh yeah, you know, everybody wants one. I'm like, yeah, I bet they do, but I'll use it. So, but you know, like I said, we've got the 4 machines. I've got just tons of attachments and buckets and augers and auger bits, and just almost seems like one of everything they make we've got. So you know, we're going to try to keep that relationship going with them, and see if we can, you know, continue to give them good feedback about their equipment and go from there. So I like to, like I said, I like to test out new things. So, but I'm talking, but watching traffic. I'm kind of in a weird spot in Wichita Falls where a whole bunch of lanes come together at once, and you got people trying to cut you off and all that other kind of good stuff. So I got to kind of pay attention for a few minutes here. But anyways, so like I said, we got, you know, we had that this year, and it's just kind of the year in review. It's been a different one, that's for sure, but I feel pretty good about the direction we're headed in. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, a lot of hours. I know everybody's tired. I'm tired. I know everybody's tired of being gone from home. I'm tired of being gone from home. And I get like 2 days at home a month, if, you know, or 3 sometimes. And I'd like a break. So we're going to try to get this subdivision knocked out. I've got one of my kids going to camp here in the end of the month, and I'd sure like to be out and go pick him up. So it's out in New Mexico. So, you know, we're trying to get to that point where we can all shut down for, you know, a week or 2 and kind of get a breather, and then hammer down on it again. So like I said, I've got, you know, a lot of stuff coming, and just, you know, stay tuned with us, and make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and, you know, continue to like and subscribe here, and continue to, you know, share it with your construction minded friends. And, you know, we've got some pretty neat stuff we do, and I've got a whole lot of footage and things like that needs to be made into some videos. It's just finding the time to do it sometimes. So I'm pretty well booked up all day, every day. So just finding the time is I work on them at night, things like that. So, but everybody have a safe and happy 4th. You know, go to work tomorrow with all your fingers. The only old saying is, guys with 3 fingers sell the best fireworks. I'm sure they do, but make sure to be careful and go back to work with all your fingers tomorrow. So everybody take care.